Welcome. You are listening to Aftersight. This recording is intended solely for individuals who are blind or have low vision.
Thank you for joining us for Audiobook News read by Sarah, featuring Audiophile Magazine. And today we're going to start off with some fiction titles. Candelaria by Melissa Lozada Oliva, read by Melissa Lozada Oliva. Listeners will enjoy this deliciously twisted tale, dynamically narrated by the author. Lozada Oliva explores intergenerational trauma as 3 generations of women find themselves caught up in a zombie apocalypse. Elderly Guatemalan immigrant Candelaria kills her octogenarian boyfriend. Surrounded by chaos in Boston, she desperately and inexplicably tries to get to the old country buffet over the objections of her daughter Lucia. Unbeknownst to Candelaria, her 3 adult granddaughters have set the entire apocalypse in motion. Lozada Oliva expertly manipulates her tone, cadence, and pacing to distinguish each character. Her emotional range fully conveys the predicament the women find themselves in. Using a deadpan tone, Lozada Oliva adds levity to paradoxical situations and to witty dialogue as the audiobook touches on motherhood, familial relationships, career ambition, and male-female tension with humor and thoughtfulness. It's available from Tantor Media, 9.5 hours long, unabridged. Trade edition digital download, ISBN 979-835-0891706 for $19.99. Library edition digital download, ISBN 979-835-0891713 for $49.95. The Great Divide by Cristina Enriquez, read by Robin Miles. Golden Voice narrator Robin Miles' evocative performance of Cristina Enriquez's novel about the building of a Panama Canal takes its time, which feels right for a book with many threads. Set midway through the canal's multi-year construction, the plot follows several central characters as they navigate personal dramas and canal-related crises. Miles's lovely, warm voice illuminates the action by adopting varied accents and wildly different personalities. 16-year-old Asa from Barbados wants to earn money for her sister's operation. Local fisherman Francisco hates the foreign-owned canal where his son Omar wields a pickaxe. Tennessee scientist John is intent on eradicating malaria while his neglected wife battles the illness. These and many other stories intertwine in this moving and deeply researched tale. It's available from Harper Audio, 13.25 hours unabridged. Trade edition digital download, ISBN 978-006-3291355 for $27.99. The Woman Back from Moscow by Hajin, read by Catherine Ho. Even with the large number of Chinese and Russian place and character names, listeners will be rewarded by Catherine Ho's performance of this fascinating historical novel. Sun Yomei Weishi, 1921 to 1968, adoptive daughter of Zhu Enlai, is selected to leave China to study acting in Moscow. Ho delivers Yomei's vivid accounts of political upheaval, harsh conditions, and her engrossing theater studies. Confronted with free love and bed-hopping among powerful Russian and Chinese men and young Chinese expats, Yomei remains an innocent. As she joins forces with Chinese nationalists to fight Japanese invaders during World War II, and later finds her career as China's first female theater director derailed due to the Cultural Revolution, Yomei emerges as a memorable woman, and Ho's narration keeps the audiobooks 22 hours alive and fresh. It's available from Recorded Books, 21.75 hours unabridged. Trade edition digital download, ISBN 979-888-9566915 for $34.99. Also available as CD or MP3. Again and Again by Jonathan Everson, read by Robert Fass. Robert Fass narrates this intriguing novel about one man's journey through his many lives. Eugene Miles is an elderly curmudgeon living in a retirement community in California. He's befriended by a housekeeper named Angel, to whom he recounts the tales of his past incarnations as a street urchin in medieval Spain, An Explorer with the Lewis and Clark Expedition, and Oscar Wilde's Cat, to name but a few. Fast captures each of Eugene's personas perfectly, including Angel's Latino accent, shifting smoothly among them so that the listener has no difficulty determining which Eugene is speaking. This engrossing and frequently moving novel is thoroughly realized in the audiobook format. It's available from Penguin Audio, 10.25 hours unabridged. Trade edition, digital download, ISBN 978-059-378-6666 for $20. Books on Tape has the library edition, digital download, ISBN 978-059-378-6673 for $95. Family Family by Laurie Frankel, read by Patty Murin and Laurie Frankel. Those who listen to this audiobook will learn that Tolstoy was wrong when he said happy families are all alike. There are many kinds of happy families, and they appear in all sorts of configurations here. The novel's focus is on adoption and how it is a positive, uplifting choice for those concerned. The liquid, uplifting voice of Patty Murin tells the story of actress India Allwood, who becomes pregnant twice, both times placing her babies in homes of her choosing, and then later in life adopting twins. There are many characters in this family chronicle, including teens and children, and Murin presents them believably. The tone of this story is light-hearted, though life's complications are not glossed over. At the end, listeners are treated to an enlightening conversation between the author and the narrator. It's available from Macmillan Audio, 15 hours long unabridged. Trade edition, digital download, ISBN 978-125-0332301 for $26.99. And now for some mystery and suspense titles. Owning Up, New Fiction, by George Pelecanos, read by Dion Graham. Dion Graham skillfully breathes life into the diverse characters in Pelecanos' 4 novellas, vividly portraying the communities that constitute Washington, D.C. beyond its political facade. Across different time frames, these stories unveil ordinary individuals who are grappling with personal challenges and having to own up to them and take responsibility. Golden Voice Graham seamlessly navigates a spectrum of ethnicities, genders, and ages, with a particularly compelling performance of an elderly man who recants his experiences in the 1919 riots. While there are crimes in each novella, the focus is much more on the characters themselves and how they are impacted by their own choices. These well-crafted works, eloquently delivered, provide glimpses of the complex lives within the capital's rich tapestry. It's available from Hachette Audio, 5.5 hours long unabridged. Trade edition, digital download, ISBN 978-166-863-5674 for $24.99. Random in Death by J.D. Robb, read by Susan Erickson. Susan Erickson's energetic performance is unparalleled in this latest in the futuristic In Death series. Jenna, a teen who is enjoying a live performance of her favorite band, is jabbed at the show by a killer with a needle filled with a deadly combination of pure heroin and other drugs. To top it off, the needle itself is covered in infectious bacteria. Lieutenant Eve Dallas fears Jenna was targeted at random, making it more likely that the killer will strike again. Erickson's performance enhances the emotional journey. Her pace and volume increase as Jenna expresses excitement. A bereft father shouts at the police, and a shocked employee yells and questions how such a crime could be committed. Additionally, Erickson has perfected the accents of returning characters. It's available from Macmillan Audio, 13 hours long unabridged. Trade edition, digital download, ISBN 978-125-0328816 for $26.99, also available as CD. The Other Mothers by Catherine Faulkner, read by Louise Brealey and Dakota Blue Richards. This audiobook pulls listeners in and keeps them guessing. When Sophie, a young London nanny, is found dead under suspicious circumstances, freelance journalist Tash is intrigued. A new mother, Tash is trying to be accepted by the beautiful, wealthy moms she's surrounded by. The story is told from two alternating perspectives and presents two timelines, one before Sophie's death and the other one after. Tash, voiced by Louise Brealey, is depicted as intelligent and inquisitive, but desperate to fit in. Richards perfectly matches Sophie's youthful naivete and recklessness. The closer Tash gets to the truth, the more she is forced to rethink her friendships, her actions, and the consequences for all involved. It's available from Simon & Schuster Audio, 12.5 hours long, unabridged. Trade edition, digital download, ISBN 978-1797163246 for $23.99. Good Girls Don't Die by Christina Henry, read by Lisa Flanagan. Lisa Flanagan will have listeners questioning reality with her sharp narration of this twisty story. 3 unrelated women find themselves in 3 separate but dangerous situations. The scenarios are representative of a cozy mystery, a teen slasher movie, and a dystopian survival story. Each woman must figure out how to escape her particular situation, along with who put her in her deadly scenario and why they did so. Listeners will feel the excruciating tension ratchet up notch by notch as Flanagan embodies each woman. They may be prey, but they will fight back with strength and feminism made manifest through Flanagan's narration. Male characters snarl and swear like textbook villains, but make no mistake, the heroines are no helpless damsels in distress. Flanagan's powerhouse performance brings suspense and satisfaction. It's available from Penguin Audio, 9.5 hours long, unabridged. Trade edition, digital download, ISBN 978-059-374-7810 for $20. Books on Tape as a library edition, digital download, ISBN 978-059-374-7827 for $85.50. Daughter of Ashes, Teresa Battaglia, Book 3, by Ilaria Tutti, translated by Aiken Oklap, read by Christina Moore. Christina Moore gives an expert performance of this third captivating episode featuring Italian Police Superintendent Teresa Battaglia. Teresa is drawn out of semi-retirement to interview imprisoned serial killer Giacomo Mainardi. Secretly dealing with an Alzheimer's diagnosis, Teresa fears her policing days are over. Her meeting with Mainardi releases a flood of memories which flash back 27 years to his horrific crimes and to Teresa's marriage to a violently abusive man. Moore enhances Teresa's complex personality, subtly providing layers of insight. Her Italian pronunciations are spot on, while her range of voices offer easily identifiable characters. As Teresa struggles with an adversarial relationship with her boss, her supportive partner Massimo Marini works to keep her focused. A wonderfully well-written whodunit with a stellar performance by Moore. Available from Recorded Books, 10.5 hours long, unabridged. Library edition, digital download, ISBN 979-888-9567714 for $27.99, also CD or MP3. And in the category of science fiction, we now have an interview with Martha Wells and a review of one of her titles. Starting with the interview by Jennifer M. Dowell. Martha Wells is the author of the Nebula, Hugo, and Locus award-winning sci-fi series, The Murderbot Diaries, which consists of 5 novellas and 2 novels so far. It's become an incredibly popular series, but newer fans who have discovered Wells that way might not realize that she's been writing science fiction and fantasy works for more than 30 years. There are people who don't know that I did anything else, Wells says. When Witch King, her 2023 fantasy novel, was being announced, people were sitting there going, well, can she write a fantasy? It was kind of the same way with Network Effect, since it was the first Murderbot novel. People were asking, can she write a whole novel? And it was like, this is my 20th or 23rd novel. I can't remember how many it had been. Wells laughs. And then there have been people who are all, I'm happy to read. I'm going to look at all the other stuff. Those are the best people. Though Wells is a regular fixture at conventions, 2023 marked her first in-person book tours for Witch King and then System Collapse. It was exciting to do it, and I really enjoyed the event in Decatur especially. There were a ton of people there, and that was kind of the first indication that, well, this is going to be pretty big. The star of the Murderbot Diaries is, of course, the rogue security unit Murderbot, a construct of organic and machine parts. When it's not busy protecting hapless humans, it prefers to spend its time re-watching favourite dramas for comfort and distraction. Relatable. This relatability is part of what has made the Murderbot Diaries so beloved. Golden Voice Kevin R. Free, who has narrated all of the unabridged audiobooks in the series, says that fans regularly reach out to him to tell him that they've listened over and over again. When people say it's comforting to me when I listen to this, I just feel so happy that I'm bringing people comfort. Free is quick to give full credit to Wells. I'm only inspired by Martha. I'm only interpreting what Martha wrote. I never want to step on her toes in any way, because I could not do what I do without her point of view and her mind and her words. For her part, Wells knew that Free was the right narrator from the start. The casting director emailed me, and usually they email with 2 or 3 narrators and see who you like best, and he just emailed with Kevin. And I went and listened to him and said, yeah, he's perfect. The choice wasn't quite so straightforward for Witch King, narrated by relative newcomer Eric Mock. The casting director sent, I think it was 12 possibilities, so going through those and trying to narrow them down was so difficult. But I'm glad we ended up with Eric because I thought he did a fantastic job. Wells is now working on a sequel to Witch King. It's called Queen Demon, and it's going to be out next year sometime, if I'm able to finish it on time. Also on the horizon for Wells, an Apple TV Plus adaptation of the Murderbot Diaries is currently in development, starring Alexander Skarsgård. Wells is a consulting producer. Wells has high hopes for the future of a fantasy genre. So much of a new fantasy fiction by Asian authors and African authors is very exciting because it's just a different way of telling fantasy and telling those stories, and it just makes it all new and fresh and interesting again, especially to readers who have been reading the same old kind of Western fantasy based in the pseudo-Middle Ages. It's energizing for the genre. The more people involved, the more voices doing their own thing, the better it is for everybody. And now for a review of Artificial Condition, The Murderbot Diaries 2 by Martha Wells, read by David Kuikui, Elena Anderson, and a full cast. Talented voice actor David Kuikui embodies the rogue Murderbot in its second adventure. Elena Anderson provides the computerized voice of ART, the research transport vessel who assists Murderbot. Pretending to be a highly augmented human, Murderbot takes on the private job of protecting a team of humans while heading back to the mining facility where it went rogue, hoping to learn if it was responsible for a disaster there. Kuikui interacts seamlessly with the distinctly voiced cast of minor characters, including the triad of researchers, a vicious CEO, enemy sec units, and a sexbot. Throughout Murderbot's tale, Kuikui's steady voice delivers all the fights and escapes. It's available from Graphic Audio, 2.75 hours long. It's an audio program. Trade edition digital download, ISBN 979-889-0550583 for $14.99. And more listening from Martha Wells includes All Systems Red, Murderbot Diaries, Book 1, read by Kevin R. Free, available unabridged from Recorded Books, Library Edition CD or digital download. All Systems Red, The Murderbot Diaries 1, read by David Kuikui, Kaya Freites, Zeke Alton, and a full cast, available from Graphic Audio as an audio program, Trade Edition, MP3 or digital download. Fugitive Telemetry, Murderbot Diaries, Book 6, by Martha Wells, read by Kevin R. Free, available unabridged from Recorded Books, Library Edition CD, MP3 or digital download. System Collapse, Murderbot Diaries, Book 7, read by Kevin R. Free, available unabridged from Recorded Books, Library Edition CD, MP3 or digital download. And finally, Witch King, read by Eric Mock, available unabridged from Macmillan Audio, Trade Edition, digital download. And let's finish off with some other science fiction and fantasy titles. I Shall Wear Midnight, Tiffany Aching, Book 4, by Terry Pratchett, read by Indira Varma, Peter Serafinowicz, Bill Nighy, and Stephen Cree. This delightful fantasy novel about a teenage witch in a poor English village is wonderfully told by Indira Varma in her charming British accent. The 38th installment in Pratchett's Discworld series features 15-year-old Tiffany Aching, who is trying to live up to her duties as a young witch. When an old witch retires, she tries her best to comfort the poor when she can, and even treats them for ills with herbs and potions. But she's hampered by prejudice from some who equate witchcraft with sin, and even more by the evil, cunning man who is out to destroy her kind. The other performers are equally charming in their roles as the various townsfolk, elves, and fairies who populate the story's tiny farming village. It's available from Harper Audio, 11.75 hours long, unabridged, recommended for ages 12 and up. Trade Edition, digital download, ISBN 978-006-337-2061 for $27.99. We Are the Crisis, The Convergence Saga, Book 2, by Cadwell Turnbull, read by Dion Graham. Dion Graham narrates a dark and complex contemporary fantasy in which so-called monsters leave the shadows to share the human world. The monsters have allies who hope to push through legislation to protect them, but a malevolent cult is attempting to incite an apocalyptic war against them. Graham maintains a patient yet engaging cadence in a slightly gravelly voice that grabs the ear. When delivering the dialogue of the various monsters and humans, he enlivens his voice and shifts into an appropriate tone. The story touches on complex social and moral issues which Graham voices with eagerness. A rich fantasy tale brimming with all-too-human monsters and vicious humans is brought to life by a capable narrator. It's available from Blackstone Audio, 9 hours long, unabridged. Trade Edition, digital download, ISBN 978-198-2602185 for $19.95. Also available as CD or MP3. Library Edition, digital download, ISBN 978-198-2602178 for $47.95. Also available as CD. Frost, Frost and Nectar, Book 1, by C.N. Crawford, read by Taylor Cohen, Alex Hill Knight, Nazia Chowdhury, Stephanie Nemeth Parker, John Keelty, and a full cast. Bright-voiced Taylor Cohen portrays both the narrator of this story, Ava, a plucky 26-year-old, and Fae characters. On her birthday, Ava discovers that her human boyfriend is unfaithful. She gets amazingly drunk and insults the Seelie King, Torrin, who seeks a wife and queen. Haughty, proud Torrin, portrayed by Alex Hill Knight, must marry to save the Seelie world, despite the curse that hangs over him that he'll kill any woman he loves. Snarky, determined Ava, who hates Torrin instantly, is the perfect choice. A vibrant, bloodthirsty-sounding cast voices deadly, lusty Fae princesses and contentious courtiers as they vie for power, the crown, and King Torrin's throne. Clever sound effects and background music accompany sex and swordplay in the Seelie court and surrounding lands. It's available from Graphic Audio, 7 hours long. It's an audio program. Trade Edition, digital download, ISBN 979-889-0550132 for $19.99. And that's it for me for today. Thank you for joining us for Audiobook News, read by Sarah.
You're listening to Aftersight.
Attention caregivers. Managing the care of a loved one requires resilience, patience, and a wealth of knowledge. To support you in this vital role, here are some essential tips to ensure effective caregiving. Prepare your space. Safety and ease of movement are paramount. Ensure your environment is adapted to meet the recovery needs of your loved one. Communicate effectively. Clear understanding between you and healthcare providers about medical needs is essential for cohesive care. Stay positive. A positive environment can significantly impact the healing process, fostering an atmosphere of hope and progress. Monitor health regularly. Keeping track of health developments allows for timely adjustments in care strategies, ensuring the best possible outcome. Embrace rehab programs. Rehabilitation programs can play a crucial role in building confidence and capability in those you care for. Organize medication administration. Accuracy and consistency in medication administration are critical for health and recovery. For those seeking additional support, the Boulder County Area Agency on Aging, BCAAA, offers invaluable resources. From access to durable medical equipment closets and home modification options to fall prevention strategies, BCAAA is here to assist in making your caregiving journey as safe and efficient as possible. Connect with a resource specialist today to explore how BCAAA can support your caregiving needs. Call 303-441-1617 or visit bouldercountyhelp.org and boco.org/caregiving for more information. Your role as a caregiver is immensely important, and you don't have to navigate it alone.
Do you work or frequently visit a high-rise office building? It's important to know what to do in case of a fire alarm. Your safety and the safety of others depends on it. First, familiarize yourself with the building's evacuation plan. The plan should be posted in high-traffic areas for easy access. Make sure you and your coworkers practice your floor's escape plan regularly. Remember, fire exits, doorways, halls, and stairways should never be blocked. If you notice any damaged fire safety devices, report it to management immediately. If the fire alarm goes off while you're in your office, remain calm and follow these steps recommended by the Illinois Emergency Management Agency, IEMA. 1. Feel the door with the back of your hand. If it's warm, do not open it. 2. Stay in your office and seal the cracks around the door with towels, clothing, or tape. Cover vents to prevent smoke from entering. 3. Call 911 and provide your precise location to the fire department. 4. Wait near a window and signal for help by waving a piece of clothing or using a flashlight. Even if the door feels cool, exercise caution. Stay low to the ground and open the door slightly to check for smoke or fire on the other side. If it's clear, follow your office's evacuation plan. However, if you encounter smoke or fire, return to your office and follow the previously mentioned steps. Once you have successfully evacuated the building, do not re-enter for any reason until the fire department gives the all-clear signal. Remember, being prepared and knowing what to do in an emergency can save lives. Take the time to understand your building's evacuation plan and practice it regularly. Stay calm, stay safe.
MESA, or Moving to End Sexual Assault, provides therapy, victim advocacy, hospital accompaniment, and support groups to those impacted by sexual assault. You can find more information by visiting their website at movingtoendsexualassault.org. They also offer a hotline at 303-443-7300. Again, that hotline number is 303-443-7300. You can also text BRAVE, as in B-R-A-V-E, to the number 20121. Again, that's BRAVE to 20121.